Ruby Dumpy.
Ruby Dumpy.
Ruby Dumpy. What else was Ruby?
Let's see. A chip and guacamole, a french fry.
Ruby Chip.
Pasta, cat.
I don't know why, but that just reminded me of how she says swing.
Fing? Fing?
She's so fucking original. Originale,
Sì.
ravioli, certo, ci sono molte, prego. Wait,
Yo!
Do we need a maiden?
A maiden?
So we have the trifecta of the female power.
I have a cat.
The cat will do as the maiden. I'll take the cat. I think the cat has the dark female energy. Hail to the yeah. What is it called? The triune feminine powerhouse. The maiden, the mother, and the crone.
I don't know what you're saying. What's a crone? I think of crony capitalism. Is that not the same?
A crony is like a friend with benefits, but not like sexual benefits.
You called her a crone.
She's a crone, which is just like an old, decrepit, geriatric woman.
She's offended.
She's clearly all of those things. I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat her. She's old and wise. She knows.
Yeah, that's true.
She can take it. She's got a thick skin.
We were on a podcast yesterday, and it was hard not to just fixate on all their artifacts that were everywhere. That was fun.
It shows that they've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was really fun.
It was dusty. Like this.
Dusty in a good way. Like lived in.
Lived in, yes. Mm-hmm. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good evening. Konbanwa.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Ohayou gozaimasu. How are you?
You know what? Lucas just said something and it really resonates with me. He said that his spirit guides have left him and he feels really groggy and strange. And spirit guides leave you when there's massive tragedy. A few days before the Ukraine war started, we were both having a lot of nightmares. And so I reached out to my mentor, Sarah, and she was like, yeah, my whole inbox is full of all of my students, having nightmares and stuff. And I was supposed to have a mentorship with her last week, and I totally spaced it. And I was thinking how weird it was that I spaced it and how I always super look forward to that. And I'm wondering if she has like family in San Antonio, because I do know that she's like from I don't think she's from the Valley, but I do recall, that being close to where she's from. So
yeah.
Hate to start with the dark shit, but it's on my mind.
The dark shit is pervasive. It's been really heavy.
It's extremely heavy, and there's like nothing you can do. There's a lot of issues. It's a complex issue. It just goes to show, like, I always feel like we're not in the cock ring, the cockfighting. I mean, or it's a cock ring. We're just like trying to keep it up like this and nothing, we just can't anymore. But I often feel like we're in the cockfighting ring of just like bureaucracy, and we're left here to just fend for ourselves, and there's no one's gonna save you. And it's really scary to be on an archaic infrastructure that doesn't support mental health. It doesn't
even believe in mental health.
No one thinks life is sacred to a degree. It's really disposable. There are a lot of strange issues. Like, we're at a point in the cycle where it's like
society is so big that everyone is no one.
Yeah, and I guess it's natural, but it's so fucking tragic.
It's the ebb and flow of the cruel, amazing, awe-inspiring, despicable world.
Yeah. And it takes, I think...
Not to be entirely dualistic. I think it's both. It's everything.
It is everything. I think we need more women to be in charge. I think more women have to start stepping into their own power and kind of fighting for it and taking it back, because the choo-choo masculine train has done great things to a degree in terms of
the light bulb,
the
magnetoscope,
certain modernity, modernity. But now it's like, okay, so we're all comfy. We all got our AC and our refrigerators, modern amenities. We have them all. We have disposable medicine, tools and things that keep us.
Hypodermic needles flood the streets.
Yeah. So now where are we? Now we're empty, full of what we need. And now it's time to kind of
build the soul.
Hop on to the train of the continuum of opposites and go the other way towards
try something else.
Towards love and compassion and empathy, and fucking start scraping off those parts that have clearly been so neglected and kind of burst through with just anything else.
Just give us something new. This is when you want to see the aliens drop in and give us a lifeline. Throw us a lifesaver.
I'm tired of waiting for those fucking aliens to come down so we stop shooting.
Wait, what's the magic that we usually do? If you're waiting for something to happen before you do something else,
I'll go get my cape and I'll go do it right now.
You have to do the thing that you're waiting to do.
Okay.
So that it'll happen, right?
Okay, so what does that mean?
So
what do we do
if
right now?
there's some condition that aliens' arrival will put in place, then you have to imagine that condition's already here and do the thing that you were going to do off that condition. You need to do your alien ollie right now, and then they'll come, because we don't need them.
It's true. We don't need them. I don't want to divert my own personal responsibility onto someone else, which I feel like is such a big... We live in this utopia where parents take care of their kids and teach them about stuff. And so we want other people's hands out of it, but that's not fucking happening. So it's like, how do you start enacting... I don't know, action, I guess, like actual movement.
We want people's hands out of it, but we also need people's hands in it. What is the old adage? It takes a fucking village.
It takes a fucking village.
But if we can't agree, like, what good morals and scruples are within our village, it just seems like there's a schism. Just like... why can't we get on the same page about something that seems so
I think
obvious? Because
everybody drives their car into their garage and they close the fucking garage door and then they go sit in their living room. Like, I try to talk to as many neighbors as possible, not because I want to be in their shit, but because I want to know who they are. And it's I think that's how you start. You just start really local, hyper local, next door, and you don't have to bug them or feel like you're intruding on their shit.
Yeah, it's just beneficial in so many ways to try and connect to the people around you, as opposed to like putting up angry walls and trying to go it alone the whole time.
Yeah, like we were just at a park and there was this other family setting stuff up and the park was demolished, which was a fucking Ruby meltdown situation.
No.
But they had a bunch of babies, so we walked over there and we were like, hey, and then they shared their fruit snacks with us, and just like, I'm not going to crash your party, but obviously they invited us to stay, and it was just so nice to just be like, but I could tell at first they were like,
are they okay? Are they cool? Are they
like,
going to rob us?
Hey, what's up? You got a bubble machine? My baby's going to start just coming over here. It's just how it is. You got a baby magnet over here. We had a great conversation, and we were doing that again later that day at the ice cream shop, like just talking to other people and staying really connected. And I don't know. Also just arrest the people who sold him the fucking guns and arrest his parents and just start profiling. And I'm talking about the shooter, by the way. It's hard to switch up from the fucking ice cream store, but I'm like, okay, everyone who fucking ignored everything is held accountable now. Like, there was a Michigan school shooter. I don't think he got anybody, but he was caught beforehand. And his parents are facing jail time, or they were. I haven't checked up on it, and this is the part where Lucas is like, see, Whitney, you should have done your research.
You should have come prepared.
But if you've got a kid and you're not fucking paying attention, you're going to pay the consequence.
It's too true.
You have to. And the person that sold you the gun, you got to pay the consequence. Hey, Congress, start voting on that fucking bill that's been sitting on your desk for 2 years where no one will vote on this. Like, everybody's got to pass a background check. And it's like 90% of America wants that. No one's against that. You're like, yeah, run background checks on people who want guns. Wait, we're not already doing that? It's like really strange. Just vote on it. And I think we should just eat every politician. I think we should sous vide them with some fucking herb butter, and I think we should all get the sharpest knife, and I think we should just start devouring their stagnancy and who they are and what they represent, and I think we should eat them whole and alive.
And they're rich, too.
And they're rich. Yeah, they don't have to pay taxes, and their kids get to go to college for free, and it's just become like this fucking... they're royalty in this country. And it's a fucking bummer, and I want to eat their skull and their brain and their skin. I want to wear their skin when everyone's watching me. And
no skin for me, please. I'd rather not.
You don't want a nipple belt or a fucking lampshade? What? You don't want none of that?
Negative. I don't usually react in a violent way.
I do have this Hannibal Lecter part of me that comes out, and you need to put lock and key over my mouth because I will eat their skull. I don't know what that is, but I have it.
I think it must be something very primal and deep inside of you. I like it that it comes out. It's fierce.
Okay, good.
It's tenacious.
Yeah,
It gets me revved up. But I don't know. I'm just more of a little weenie and happy to be a little weenie.
Dude, you're my little weenie. You're the yin to my yang.
I like being a weenie.
Just stick me on anybody that fucks with you, and then we're good.
Right. I'm a snuggler.
Yeah. And I'm a squasher. I'll squash you.
I'm a snuggler.
I'm a wee snuggler. Oh.
But I do... Ew, I don't want to pick this up.
Dude, you got to put that do not disturb shit on. It is amazing.
I thought I did. Oh my God. Breathing deeply.
It's freaky when I meditate. I can't get to my rainbow space. Isn't that weird? And I told you when that was happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, did they know? I don't know. It's like that. There's like a fallout a little bit.
Well, it just makes me think about all of the power behind everyone's joint thought processes and turmoil. It just seems to hang like a cumulonimbus cloud above us. I feel it, There's power behind all those feelings, I think. How to pull out of that storm.
Sorry, you had notes yesterday. You read them, or you were like, this is podcast fodder, and then you ran into the darkness, and I waved goodbye as I filled your backpack up with rum. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be hanging out.
This is dark segment over.
No, I don't want people to think that
no,
darkness is not something that is absolutely part of life, or that's something that I refuse to face, or something like that.
There's just a lot of it.
It's just we have to adjust. We have to become more comfortable with the pain, I guess, because it's not going to go away.
Yeah. People also need to stop ignoring red flags.
Right, in a very concrete way as far as like legislation is concerned.
Look at this gun I just bought. I think the SWAT team should show up at your fucking house and put you in a solitary confinement until whatever weird shit is going through passes.
Yeah.
I think that's just like, yeah, it sucks that part of your privacy is revoked, but at the same time, it's like that is just, sorry, that's just this is what we've come to. So yeah, you're losing that.
I looked at pictures of all of them this morning, all the ones we lost, and I definitely cried while I was looking at them and thinking about their little lives. And I don't know, just giving that love and energy and time to them felt good, but it's like, what else can I really do to change the situation?
I don't know. I know that yesterday was voting day and I fucking had to work, or not, Tuesday, and I had to fucking work all day. And then it's like, I'm not making time for that. And that's important, even though I hate it and I'm an anarchist. But it's like, I think if you and me and the smart and Aaron and John Paul were more involved in our local politics and stuff, it's something.
Definitely.
It's just something.
So let's put it on the calendar and we'll make a plan next time. I remember Barack Obama saying, make a plan to vote. And if you have a plan, then it's easier. Like, you're not flying by the seat of your pants.
And everybody's reaction when I talk to about voting are like, I don't want to think about, I'm so glad Donald Trump's out of office. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to think about it anymore. And I'm like, you doing that is the reason that people like that are screaming in your phone pockets butt crack all fucking day, and you got to hear every time someone farts, or a fart that they recorded when no one was listening. And it's just like, this has gotten
what?
Like, I feel like when there's inflammatory political I don't know, peripheral headlines all the time, you get a notification on your phone when they fart, when they farted, when they're going to fart. I don't need to know this, but it's like all of us going, la, 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 la. I've got my own shit that I want to do, and not really, like, that's kind of part of the problem. That's why it's like such a dog and pony show to begin with.
Yeah, well, I feel like most of the people I know are pretty busy with everything they have going on with their lives.
You have to feed your family. You gotta have a job. It's so hard, but it's so important
to make time to be a part of a community and care about shit.
Yes, it's where you live. It's where you eat. It's where you walk. Speaking of where you walk, let's tell the people what happened yesterday.
Oh yeah. Not a great thing.
We can talk about the chaos energy of yesterday as a whole.
The chaos energy was huge, off the charts yesterday. So you guys may know that I like to go and throw the basketball around. I call it shooty hoops. It's a sheer delight. And when I have time, I do it every fucking day. Because
you're out there early.
I like to leave my house between 8 and 8:30, and usually I'm the only person there, and I get to run all over the court and use every single hoop, and I'm just, flow state. It feels great. So yesterday, there's usually weirdos who are just walking through, or
there's a homeless hangout at that park.
Yeah, there's a park where people have like tents and sometimes grocery carts, and there's like...
But he wasn't homeless.
It didn't seem that way.
No.
He didn't have his home on his back, so I couldn't really confirm. But anyway, so this man walks up. He's not like on the phone. He's not saying anything when he's got his phone next to his ear. And he walks past as I'm doing my thing. It's like fenced in. And he like walks... A lot of people walk through to the other side of the park, but then he comes back, and he kind of positions himself towards the like edge of the wooded area. He's like pivoted towards it and still on his phone. And I think there's a trash can over there, so he's like, I don't know. Sometimes people dig through the trash or like collect bottles or whatever. They're like at the trash can for a while. So I'm like, he's doing that. I don't know. I'm doing my thing. Anyway, eventually he's standing there for such a long time. I have to see, like, what is this guy doing? Is he gonna do something crazy? And lo and behold, he has his dick in his hands, and he's like shaking it at me. And
flaccid
dick.
Flaccid limp noodle fucking dick.
And realized what I was witnessing, I stopped bouncing my ball. I went over to the hoop where I had my water bottle and my little purse, and I just exited very quickly and got into my car, locked the door, and then I peeled out because he started to walk from where he was sort of towards me, but almost like he was going back towards the gas station from whence he came. And it made me so mad. It made me so mad because that's my spot. That is where I go and feel great.
And it is still your fucking
still
spot.
My fucking
I'm
spot.
sorry. If you want me to come with you, I will. That you better not stop going to that spot.
No, I don't want him to be able to have any power over that, or make... I don't know. It just, it really bummed me out. But luckily, There were multiple instances where I had positive interactions with men. So I haven't lost all faith in mankind. But this guy, man, thanks for ruining my morning with your stupid floppy dick. So that's what happened yesterday. And then also Whitney was experiencing the chaos on 183.
I was so mad. I was like, what did he look like? I texted to Lucas. I'm like, go find this guy. Go to the fucking gas station. Beat his ass. I wanted to beat his ass so bad.
Yeah, I wish I had a super soaker full of like hot
napalm.
cayenne pepper sauce.
I was on the phone at the office at the Yami Noob headquarters, and a fucking truck just like turned over right in front, and it was carrying a big slab of marble.
Oh shit.
And it shattered everywhere.
You think that person got fired?
Immediately. Like the mechanic next door was
man.
like, he's such a funny old guy. I just wish I just want to be him. I want to be in a small space for a long period of time, smoking a cigarette, staring at the world going by, working on something for a long time. I don't know. There's just something so cozy about that. But he was like, ha, there goes that guy's job. And he's like starts laughing and fucking turns around and goes back into the shop as like just absolute chaos. You know what was freaky? Hold on.
If I gotta slap a pussy up, I'ma make it look sexy.
You know what was freaky was there were just a bunch of people recording it on their phones.
Is that freaky? Isn't that the way things are now?
I guess. I'm like, world star. I'm like, what do you, I mean, I guess people want to, but it was immediate. Like there's a huge crash, trucks flipped, and then there are 4 people on their phones.
Because everybody
like,
wants to
is the
see
dude
everything.
Okay?
Yeah.
How's the guy? He climbed out right away. He was fine. But yeah, he
ran away.
Took
He
that
ditched
turn
it.
a little too fast. And now there's shattered marble everywhere. I should have run up and picked up a big shard.
Get a big chunk of it, like the
the
Berlin
fucking
Wall.
aggro crag. Like
What's aggro crag?
The Nickelodeon. There used to be an old school Nickelodeon like fitness game, and you'd climb the aggro crag.
Oh,
and then you'd get like this big glow in the dark shard.
I remember the Legend of the Hidden Temple.
It was kind of like that. It was more boring. It wasn't like as cool.
Oh, then I wasn't watching that.
So I drive around him, and the fire trucks are like in my way, and I'm just like, I just want to go home.
You're on that big Harley?
No, I was in a truck.
Oh, okay.
I was on the big Harley all day. And then 183 is closed, like the highway I need to get on, and there is no other easy way to get home. And I sit in so much traffic. I feel so claustrophobic because on a motorcycle you can just go through all of that and blast through all the lights and not worry about it. And so I was feeling like really upset that I didn't ride. I get back on the highway, and behind me is a wall of smoke and fire. It's a 8-lane highway. It's huge. There's no one on it. It's freaky. You know, it's like rush hour, and I can see people trapped behind, like because there's no exit up there. Like there's nowhere for them to go, so they just have to, I don't know, sit and fucking wait for.
Jeez.
And I was like, what's going on? Lucas is like, dude, there was this old guy at the gas station without a shirt on, and he was just like rubbing his tits looking at the sky. And Lucas was like, I was thinking maybe that was the guy that shook his dick at Megan. And then he was like, dude, there was a big giant truck fucking flipped over right by our house. So to have a highway closed that's never been closed in the entirety of me living over here, 2 flipped trucks in a day, some dude rubbing his tits, staring at the sky at the gas station, another dude shaking his wiener at you. I was like, something freaky.
I'm going to bed.
I'm going to bed. I'm going to get back in my
go hide
home.
under the covers. Super chaotic energy abounds.
I think that's what happens when your spirit guides get sucked into a tragedy nearby, and they're like, we got to go help all these people. And then we're all left with like this, like, they're not directing anyone anymore. And it's funny, I felt my dad too, Which I was like, wait, Dad, why are you stepping in? Oh, where's the more experienced? Where's the more experienced angelic presence on the other side? I was
no offense, but
I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, I was on a bike I wasn't comfortable on, doing a million different things that I'm not comfortable doing on a bike that I don't want to do it on, but I'm doing it anyways because that's my job. And then I realized
the doing of it.
I realized I was like, they can't find anyone like me who's just like, yeah, okay, I'll do the thing. Okay, yeah, I've never done this, but let's do it.
Yay!
Which was a really important realization for me to have.
That's BDE.
Well, I came home and I was like, Lucas, I'm unique, and he was like, what? And to me, it was like this profound thing that I never thought about.
Declaration.
Yeah, and he was like,
babe, listen to me.
That's why I married you. Do you know who you are? And I was like, no, I don't. Oh, but
you're learning.
But my dad, I was on the highway. We're doing like, I don't know, 80, and I'm on these off-roading tires. And so when you're going fast on off-roading tires on the highway, they're just moving a lot. And it's not a big deal if you don't fixate on it. But I got caught in a groove because in Texas, the roads are just awful. Like, there's just charred up cement and eaten, there's just lines and seams everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I get caught in one. And my dad popped into my head. And I don't know why. Like, if he was like, okay, all the experienced spirit guys are dealing with this national tragedy. I'm like, God, here's the bike, pay attention. And I was like, thanks. Thanks for that.
Hell yeah. That's like a timeless transfer. Just an appearance right when you needed it.
Yeah. And that's the last thing I'm thinking about when I'm like going fast on the highway is like dead people. That's just cool. Like not what I'm thinking about.
Automatic.
It was automatic.
There's something about that. There's something about like the timelessness of the response.
Yeah.
I was thinking about time, like we always do.
I can't wait to read about it so I can come back and explain what I thought.
Time and memory, just like the relation between the two, because we wouldn't need memory if we didn't have time. Because memory is, recalling after a long period of experiencing something, thinking about that thing again. But I wanted to sort of speculate on the relationship between... I've been thinking about our ancestors,
Is that the quote that you read me last night?
Yeah,
you wrote down a thought.
It's like, I think I had it on my phone, the Ancestor one.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's our job, it's the job of the descendants to maintain those memories of our ancestors, because it's like, could they still exist outside of our memories? I feel like there's real power behind the thoughts of our memories, and I know that sometimes we disagree over like the actual existence of a soul, like an immortal, unchangeable soul. I tend to believe more in like the life force that is in everyone, sort of like everybody's Buddhahood. Everybody has the potential to realize that we are all one and we're all everything. But I guess sometimes I think that the memories that we maintain are sort of the soul of that person. And I don't know, I just feel like there's something there. There's something like the altar that we set up, like the attention that we give.
I think that's what's missing in America. I think that it's really cool that there's this space for immigrants, that people came over here and people could make businesses right away and kind of cut from their shitty situation, wherever they were escaping, and come over here and make a better life. But what do you lose? And what do you gain? And you lose, like, I think...
The traditions of the old country, you mean?
Yeah, like the fact that there's all this terrorism in America and everybody's shooting up everybody and gang violence, and there's just so much violence. It's like, well, there's no fucking community. There's no elders passing down like, hey, you know what, your blah 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 was really good at this. I see this in you. You should go for that. And then having a big dinner every once in a while, or it's like we're so fractured, and from that there are pros. There's, I need to get away from you because you're insane and this country's falling apart and I hate war, so I'm leaving to go make a better one. But there is, when you escape, instead of stay back and fight for the city, fight for the city. I'm moving from here because this place sucks. I'm like, you don't want to fucking stay and fight for it? Okay, well, yeah, go run away somewhere else then. That's how I feel about Austin. I'm like, yeah, this big wave of tech bros, it's just like, it's probably how people in the 70s felt when the businessmen were coming in and, making corporations and shit. I'm like, it's just it's got a different face.
Right.
We got to stay here and,
keep it weird.
Keep it, keep it,
down to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's not really a unified threat. It's like not a population moving against us. It's just the way the world is going. It's like they're not like in a militia moving against us and trying to force their tech bro lifestyle on us. They're just like, I don't know. I never thought I would advocate on behalf of the influx of software engineers.
It's a strange new part about you, Megan.
Interesting. I don't really know where I was going with that. I just think that...
Yeah, they're not a threat. No, to me, and I'm like, I never want to squash the opportunity for people to make more money, because I'm like, well, what if we just got more people to go in the tech industry? It's like, what if we got more of our people
new
up
segments,
there? What, do you really want to keep working at Dollar General? It's like, no, let's fucking get you a UX job. Like,
turn Dollar General into a big vending machine.
It should be. No one should be working those jobs.
It should be all vending machines.
That should be AI for sure. I mean, it's like different if you live out in a rural country and that's the only job. But even then, I'm like, UX job. Let's get you rich. Let's boost everyone up and get the robots in here to take all the dumb jobs.
I think some people might prefer a dumb job to a smart job.
I guarantee it. If you're like, look, do you want to do this or do you want to make a lot of money? Now, there will always be books.
Okay.
There will always be books. There will always be certain jobs. I think personally, there will always be bartenders. There will probably be some AI bartenders who have giant tits full of cotton candy when you put on your VR goggles and serve you fucking whatever you want. But there will always be a bar in the crevice of the dystopian future where there's a real person working.
Yeah.
Same thing with mechanics. I feel like there will always kind of be mechanics, but like when it comes to just making a transaction, I don't know how many people genuinely want to stay in that.
I would agree. Absolutely. Plus they have those things at the airport now where you just pick up the stuff that you want and put it under a camera and then it charges you and you like wave your phone or your card in front of the thing and it's crazy. It's insane the way that you can consume now.
Yeah.
Totally without any interactions whatsoever between you and another person.
I think universal income and then making everybody go into different facets that interest them. Medicine, technology, law, whatever. We could all disperse and bulge up those fucking careers and work on a Stargate to go somewhere else. It's like there's so many other things we could be doing now that we're at a point in society where all of our needs are met. This tail end of the Industrial Revolution. It's
but we still got to get everybody's needs met. And I know we've touched on this before.
And
so many people to bring up.
Yes. Most of us are doing great, though. But yet, there is probably a good 30% of America that... I was just like, how hard would it be to go to Skid Row and fucking build a psychedelic therapy compound? And that's complicated and it's not a cure for anything. But it's just something to, like, I don't know, regulate the open drug scene. It's like, do we really just want no option for all these people doing drugs on the streets?
There's maybe in Portland or maybe somewhere in California, there are like facilities where people can go to get like clean needles and like do their drugs under supervision.
I think you should be able to go to Walgreens. Go walk into Walgreens and it's free. You want to do heroin? Do it here. We'll watch you. And then they're going to be like,
Those types of jobs must be stressful.
Watching people do drugs?
Yeah.
We do it all the time. We do it when you go
people-
downtown Austin.
Yeah, I don't know. Heroin scares me.
It should. I mean, people do it. People can do it. I remember there's this huge advocate. I don't know his name, but he is a professor at Yale. He's like, I do heroin recreationally with my wife. He's like, quit thinking that mushrooms are the only fucking drug that, he's like, he's really about destigmatizing all drugs. And I was like, yes, I agree with that, but a lot of people don't use it the way you do. Most of them don't. It's like most of them aren't holding down. Well, that's not true. I remember being in Baltimore and there are some people on the bus on the way from work doing heroin and they're in their work clothes. Like they don't look like, my dad did drugs for a long fucking time. And there were times where he definitely looked like he did, but he kept a job, like.
Yeah.
There are other people in my family.
Do you think that allowed for his vibratory frequency to go upwards or downwards? I feel like recreational use of opiates is only to
be in an opium den and
you.
then lay there and then
it's
not
just
do
to
anything.
smush you down.
Yeah, that's definitely.
But I have
not
a huge stigma against opiates.
Well, because they're killing everybody in the Mid-Atlantic. I mean, the morgues are full of dead fucking bodies of people who are dying. So yeah.
So I don't know if advocating for recreational use of
it's
opiates
like it's not time for that right now. Can we work on doing this part? And it's the same thing with marijuana. There are people who are very addicted to marijuana who can only function with it, and we're not talking about that because it's just pot. And it's like, well, hold on a second. It's actually ruining some people's lives, and they don't know it, and they're not dealing with the things that they need to deal with, and they're doing dabs. I'm like, if you do dabs, you need to fucking go to rehab. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you.
They hit so hard.
They hit too hard, and it's just like, if that's what you're trying to do, then something's wrong, and you need to look at it.
Yeah, well, I think there's a huge aspect of drugs as an escape.
Yeah.
Like, it's change your brain chemistry for an hour or a few hours so that you don't have to suffer through this reality.
Yeah.
So everybody does them for different reasons. I love the idea of doing them for a therapeutic reason. Yes.
Well, I think that's the part of the cycle that we're in right now. Is like, hey, you know what? There's a lot of stuff we gotta dig through, and this is just one aspect of that can really rock someone's world to get them out of that fucking parasitic mindset of harming themselves.
Yesterday, before the dick wag, I was thinking, just like driving in my car, I was like, this whole thing is just too hopelessly complex.
It is extremely complex.
Everything about what we do.
Yes.
There's nothing simple about our lives or our bodies.
Unless we soften butter with sun. That's nice and simple.
Even that is not. There's just everything has such depth. Like, you can dive into any aspect of.
This is a submarine podcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure. What you see on the surface there's so much more. And, that kind of
I gotta go do drugs.
Yeah, that makes me want to do drugs.
I gotta go tap out for a second.
Sometimes. But that's also why I do shooty hoops, the flow state. Because then you're not thinking about how hopelessly complex everything is. You're just
it's a sense of Taoism. You're in the moment, and I try to integrate that in every part of my day. It's just a glass of water. Be
where you are. Because then maybe you can escape from everything.
Dude, Ram Dass's, have you ever read Ram Dass's book, Be Here Now?
I think I started it, but I don't know what happened.
It's like the one that's the wrong way in a book.
It's going from left to right or right to left.
It's like upside down. Like the book is.
I've definitely manipulated that.
That's a great book. I
think maybe Emma has it, and I've looked at hers.
It's a great book, and it's a good reminder, and it's just a nice little teeny tiny 5 milligrams of like. Yeah.
That's usually where I go. I just try and think of like everyday gifts and be conscious of how beautiful the sky is and how beautiful the air feels on my skin and how grateful I am to have legs and arms and eyes that work and all of those things. Because I think if you spend too much time in the terrifying complexity, it's like I'm going to lose my marbles.
I've lost some. And when I do drugs, I don't escape. I do the opposite. I
Go
go
deeper.
in. Yeah. And that's why I don't do them, because I don't know what that is. There's some sort of portal open some sort of sphincter that's just someone
soul
cut
sphincter.
it. The soul sphincter is loose and it's leaking all the time.
What's sphincter Kegels? Are they the same? Soul sphincter Kegels. That's what we're doing.
That's today's episode of the podcast. Soul
sphincter
Kegels.
Soul
I don't.
Kegels.
What would a soul Kegel be?
For me, it definitely contained gratitude. There's attitude.
Gratitude, and when I meditate and connect to the electric car battery that is the great beyond, I feel aligned, and I feel really grateful for that. And that's really, it's crazy to think that people don't have that. I'm like, oh shit, you don't have this? How do you survive? And then they don't survive at all.
Yeah. Poor guys.
Shit.
I wish they would do some reading.
Do you guys need help? I think maybe that's the center that we dump all of our money in. We don't open up a restaurant, but we open up a soul Kegel center where it's like,
come squeeze your soul.
Come, just
soul sphincter.
Sit for a second. Here's some lemonade.
Yeah, dude, we would have all kinds of silk scarves and incense and candles and like little drums and what are those singing bowls and stuff, but it'd also have like a really good buffet of fruit.
I've always fantasized about taking over Milk and Honey, which is a really fancy spa downtown. And it's like super fancy and it's kind of cultish, and I was like, you know what I would do? I'd get armed fucking guards in here and I'd have them all masseuse homeless people. Homeless people would come in dirty with bad hair. They'd take a nice
step
bath.
in that steam shower.
They'd step in a steam shower. Somebody would just like rub them down like a big person. Like a big guard will just guide them.
Bouncer.
Because Lucas deals with that all the time. You cannot have a regular person deal with the people of the streets. You do need somebody who's just very commanding and calm and very large in order for them to kind of behave. Some of them are Nazis. You need an armed guard to like deal with those kinds of people.
Would you still want to invite the Nazi into
all
the
of
spa?
them? All of them get cleaned, because you know what a Nazi needs? Human touch. You know, I feel like if you've deviated to this point of insecurity where you think that you're under attack from another, that person needs to go into the hug closet where they just get hugged until their brain turns yellow, because it's like, just like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I'm hugging you now. You change.
I know no one touches you. I know you live it. Yeah. That's just like,
do better.
Just stop hating everything. It's gonna be okay. That's how everyone's welcome, Megan, and they all get hugged and they all get cleaned and they all get haircuts and they do them one by one and they get a nice hour-long massage and they come in once a week. I honestly think you could fucking change a lot of people's lives if they were cleaned and getting human touch.
Yeah. They also need some money so they can have somewhere to live.
Well, yeah, let's not go that far, because that's
I don't want to bring you down.
No, I'm just focusing on the part that would make them happy right now. Yeah. They need a lot, but that is one aspect.
I wish we could help them all. Hi, Chiquilla.
You got your pencil shirt on, it's happy bread. She's so happy and she's dancing around. She's kicking her toes. She's got underpants.
Look at her shorts. She's looking so cute.
No, booby.
Bye, honey bunny.
And we're back. Ruby bake, Ruby snack. Papa doing the Lord's work. Look at him go.
Gracious Papa. And that's why we have to change the world. Because we have all these little babies.
Yeah.
That are going to be living in a world that we impact.
They're doomed.
Through our actions. I really don't think they're
not
doomed.
They're not doomed. We always think that. And it's not as... Things aren't...
I think our hope is necessary to make changes. Hope and change, baby.
Hope and action.
Change. through action.
Sorry to get all utopian, and it's fun though to think about the way
what I
your
love
brain
about
would
this
work.
fucking podcast?
We can do whatever we
can
want.
say and do whatever we want. We have this little
there are no segments.
Beautiful constructive criticism. Read more and prepare more specific details for our listeners. But honestly, I feel like that kind of tripped me up. It kind of psyched me out. Because I don't know, I was like looking up the definition of time.
I like the idea of diving into certain shit fully and coming to this podcast with names of the things that I've read, and just to be a little bit, for my own sake, I just want to know what that's like for me to do that.
I love learning. It's all I want to do all the time, but I don't want to worry about coming off as intelligent. I just want to be me. I gotta do me.
Guess what, Megan? When you put your intelligence out on the internet and to your friends and whoever else's ears we're in right now, they will come to you asking for intelligent thoughts, opinions, and it's just like, we stepped up to the plate.
I do not want to be your messiah. I do not want to take responsibility for your decision-making faculties.
I know, but there's just, I don't know. People always want an adult. It's strange. Or they always need a parent. An idol. There's a lot of idol worship.
I don't want to be that.
No. Well, you are, though.
I want to be that for myself.
You get a lot of messages.
I do.
Day.
I am grateful for the messages and the connections, but I don't claim any authority. No, I don't want any authority.
No, and we never will. But if you and I wanted to read some shit about how time works in the space-time continuum, and then you and I sit and talk about it, we ain't no fucking authority on shit. But it would be fun.
I don't know why I'm bucking against this so hard.
You've been getting buckier lately. That might just be part of your...
my growth?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm getting buckier.
She's bucking me. I like it. Oh!
I do feel like that's a quality of yours that I'm sort of mirroring. I'm a mirrorer. Don't call me a chameleon because that'll piss me off.
I've noticed that that's a naturally feminine trait, and I think we do it for safety.
Yeah, I dig safety. I don't know. I definitely learn a lot from people that I enter into partnerships with. And I would say that I'm definitely in a partnership with you.
Yeah.
Even though we're not boyfriend-girlfriend.
No, but we're soul sphincter and soul
very
sphincter.
Connected to you.
Like that fucking infinity sign.
Just like that fucking Mobius strip.
The Mobius strip.
That negative space. Dude. I just...
want to cry.
It's going to be okay.
No, it's going to be okay. I know.
As a people, we have been through a lot of tragedy, and we just...
Somebody collected all the headlines over the last 100 years about the world ending, and there's a lot of them. I really enjoyed that. We're always
on the brink of destruction. We have to believe that. We've been believing that in specific ways for 2,000 years, but in less specific ways for probably eons. And I don't know, you just gotta get up every morning and say, if this is the last day, I will make it such a last day.
I think about my mortality often, especially after losing my dad. Did you? Or you don't?
Yeah, well, thinking about the concept of death and like the loss of a person who was always somewhere to be found, and then you can't find them anymore, that changes the way you think about your interactions with other people. Yeah, death is a huge part of life.
I still want to be a death doula. It sucks
I think
that
you'd be a fantastic
it's
death
hard to
doula.
find the proper... You can go fly somewhere and like get the training. It sucks. It should be a more common thing. No, it's in America somewhere. There's people who take on students about...
Let's road trip.
Let's death doula road trip.
Death doula road trip 2022.
I would dose the shit out of them too. I'd be like, here you go. Let's talk.
Oh, that reminds me of... Where was that old lady who had to get off morphine before she passed away because she didn't want to die beholden to nothing? I feel like that was from To Kill a Mockingbird. And maybe I'm conflating stories.
Yeah, that's about
I love that story. I know what it's about.
Okay.
Busting up a shift robe. Tom Cotton and all.
Oh, shit.
But she was addicted to morphine, but she was dying. But she wanted to get unaddicted to morphine before she actually crossed death's doorway, because she wanted to be fully lucid for it. So it's interesting to think that as a death doula, you would want to dose people, as opposed to them being completely present for that loss of consciousness.
I think if they're scared to die, or their family's waiting around and there's some unsolved shit, get the truth serum out and let's talk before you go.
Whoa.
Yeah, if you're happy to go, I wouldn't dose you.
That's so heavy.
But
trying to unlock generational trauma.
I'm like, dude, you got to do this before you go. It's really important. It's really important before you do this, because otherwise you're going to be stuck on the other end and you're going to hate it, and then you're going to haunt me.
Let's go.
This is your rocket fuel.
Spill it. Spill it. What happened?
Heal before you die.
But yeah, that also just makes me think about memory again, and how when people remember things, they change them every time they remember them. So how many people's trauma is a contorted version of actual events?
Well, PTSD is different because you are reliving that same trauma and there is no brain change.
Oh, good.
They're, yeah, or bad because they're stuck there.
Good, because that was such a traumatic event that you need to remember it clearly.
Yeah,
so that
this
you can
is
avoid
where
it
I
again.
wish I could talk about some people in my life, but their brain is so unchanged due to trauma, because the neural pathways are just electrified and petrified to be fossilized
like those
glass
dirt roads with those deep grooves.
ruts. Yeah, you're stuck in that berm forever, and they cannot have a new thought and they cannot say a new sentence, and it's scary.
That seems like a good place for the rewiring that comes on with therapy, psychedelic therapy.
They said, one guy put it, your thoughts are kids on sleds going down a snowy mountain, and they keep going down the same path over and over and over again, and psychedelics make it snow.
Yeah, lay down some fresh pow, make it a little easier to move about. Have you ever snowboarded?
I have.
Is it fun?
So much fun.
I've never played in the snow with sticks on my feet.
I've done it once in Colorado on a mountain, and it was very fun.
I would like to go to Colorado.
It's insane out there. It's beautiful. You're like snowboarding through clouds. You're like, what's all this fog? And then my boyfriend at the time was like, you mean a cloud? It's like, this is a cloud. And I was like,
so clouds at ground level are fog. It's crazy to think about it.
Yeah, so I was fucking right. Fuck you.
You were right. You were usually right.
Thanks,
Especially
November.
about snow and cold things, because of where you come from.
Don't miss it. Don't care about it. Don't think about it. Oh my God. Aaron was talking about how many people flock to the South because it's like, you're insane if you just enjoy that.
If I had a wood stove, I could cuddle
nice.
up. I love
For 6 months, no sun.
I don't know.
It's a long time.
I'd give it a try. I'd try anything once.
My coworker is fucking from the bar across the street of my old job. It is so crazy. But he was like, do you ever still have this like strange good weather panic attack when the sun's setting and you're like, oh my God, I need to go out and enjoy this before it's gone forever? And I was like, yeah, dude, I still get that. Because in Minnesota, your nice weather is like maybe 3 months. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, in Virginia, we used to have snow days and stuff, and all the slushy, dirty snow would hang around, and in parking lots, you'd get these giant mountains of snow.
That'd stay
from
there
where
till
they
June.
paved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just watch it melt slowly. I remember that. But I don't know. I try not to get guilted by the sun.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Like, I'm gonna go enjoy you whenever I want to. I don't feel obligated to do it just because it's there. Like, I'm grateful for it, but
I cling on to it because it is my conditioning as a Minnesotan.
I think it helps mood to get out there too. Get that mood elevated.
Get it up.
Get it up. Attention. Gee whiz.
That went by so fast.
Today is episode 10? Or wait, was that the last one?
That was the last one.
This
It's
is 11. Well, we're in the double digits. What do you think? Are you happy?
I love it.
I love it too.
I love it. Other people listen to it. Strange.
It is very strange, but I feel like we're going through this parallel journey of exposing ourselves.
Like on
Not
the
to
side of
harken
the
back to
basket.
the dick wagger. We're exposing our sort of psyches.
Our dick
our
psyches.
hearts.
Our psyche dicks.
Our psyche
We're
dicks.
shaking them at you.
No. But you're voluntarily tuning in, and I was not voluntarily tuning in. Just to,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not standing at the side of your bed.
We're not
shaking
harassing
our
you.
psyche dicks. We could.
Send us an email if that's what you want. We'll see what we can do.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, America. Say your prayers,
Oh, God. See him. Hurry.
but also do the right thing.